Hi guys, this is I, Chrissy Girl. I am back after my break. Most people should already know why I took a break. But yeah, I'm back now and I decided that I'm going to start off with a Let's Play of Sonic Lost World for the Nintendo Wii. I've heard this game's got quite mixed reviews, so I really want to share my experience with the game. And yeah, it's a positive experience.
Drop the critters, Eggman! If you insist.
Whoa, that's harsh! You'll have to swing back around for it.
Predictable. He must really love those things! Whoa! What's that in the clouds?
That must be the Lost Hex. Cool!
Less looking, more landing!
All right, I can land it, but it's gonna be bumpy.
And yeah, random planet thing in the sky. Yeah, so this is where the game begins. We land on a mysterious planetoid thing in the sky. No, it's not a little planet. With lots of tubular level designs and planetoid level designs and stuff. And yeah, if this game feels a little bit like a cross between Super Mario Galaxy and what would have been Sonic Extreme, well, you can draw comparisons if you'd like. That's the comparison that I drew. It just reminded me like of a mix of both those things. But yeah, I'm back from my break. I'm probably not going to be like, you know, uploading schedule's still going to be quite erratic, but you know, I'm going to try and get back to like posting Let's Plays and stuff. But for those of you who didn't know, my daughter was born about a month ago, which is the reason why I took the break. Spend time with family, spend time with her, adjust to, you know, the changes, recover, because, you know, the birth ended up being an emergency cesarean, you know, all that stuff. So that's why I was on a break. You know, thank you for understanding. So I'm sure I posted a comment on the discussion page explaining things. But yeah, if I've got time to like do Let's Plays, like if Dad's got time to take kids on and stuff, then I will definitely be posting Let's Plays from time to time. So, you know, I'm in the process of recording a few playthroughs, not just this. In fact, I've finished recording Lost World, so I can get that one done. All I've got to do is do commentary. But yeah, that's just a quick explanation of my circumstances and why I had to take a break. Like I said, thank you for understanding for the few people that actually do watch this channel. I really appreciate it. You may notice that the footage is quite, you know, darker than what it should be. For whatever reason, when I recorded this, it came out darker, but I fixed it by the third act of this zone, so it's only going to be for Acts 1 and 2 of Windy Hill, which looks not, you know, astonishingly like Green Hill. I do think that was deliberate. But yeah, let's talk about the game, because that's what people really want to hear about. They don't want to hear about my life, they want to hear about the game. And it's a really darn good game. Is it as good as Colors or Generations? No. Not by a long shot. But I had a lot of fun with this game. I know that it's gotten a lot of mixed reviews. Some people really didn't like it all that much, but I did. The 3DS version, I can completely see why that got mixed reviews. I really didn't like the 3DS version, but this is good. I like this.
Take it easy there.
Oh, stay calm, little guy. Sonic and Tails will get your buddies back. Sonic,
No, it'll be
did you
alright.
get those animals back from Eggman?
Just the one container he tossed off his eggmobile.
Wait a minute. Just the one? Weak. I would have gotten them all back by now.
Save the rest of them.
What? Let me go.
I hate to think what Eggman's doing to those poor things.
I'm on it.
And it's worth noting that Amy is not a fangirl in this game. Remember in previous Sonic games, she would just fawn over Sonic and be a right, you know, irritant. In this game, she isn't. She's actually really tolerable. Anyway, this bit is talking about whisked away items that you can get through the Miiverse. But I'll explain that later on because there's a cutscene going into the next level, so you know, it kind of seems worthless to explain it now. So let's go into the next level, watch the cutscene, and then I'll explain the gameplay.
Transformation 101. Bunnies to badniks. Boom! Instant army. It needs to be a big army if I'm taking over the world below.
You are quite the mighty conqueror.
Yes, I am. I conquered you, didn't I? And with your help, I'll not only rule the world, I'll finally destroy that blue nuisance, Sonic.
Eggman wants the little hedgehog destroyed.
Yeah, well, I feel like destroying something.
That's what I like about you, Zazz. Always ready for a fight, even before you know what you're fighting.
You bet. Bring it on and I'll rip it up.
Win or lose, I'll learn something about our enemy.
So yeah, I've got quite a few things to explain about this game. First off, I suppose I ought to talk about those creatures that appeared in the cutscenes, and I'm calling them creatures because a terminology, I can't think of any other better term to use. They're the Zeti. They're the main enemies in this game alongside, well, in fact, no, they are the main enemies in this game. The Zeti are, well, there's 6 of them, and they're just generic bad guys, generic arseholes that just want to create terror and stuff. We get to fight 1 per zone, twice. So, yeah, we're going to be seeing them a lot.
I'm gonna have to bring in my A-game if I want to mop the floor with this funny butt.
They comment throughout each of the stages. Anyway, this is the asteroid wisps, because yes, the wisps make a return. Why, I do not know, but they just do. This is the asteroid wisp. I could have used it to access that warp hole that was in the middle of the loop, but I didn't because I'm dumb. It would have only taken me to a red ring in any case, so I don't really care that much, because, yeah, the red rings make a return. With the red rings, if you collect all of them per zone, you'll get a Chaos Emerald. Get all 7, and you'll unlock Supersonic. Duh. That's what happens when you get all the Chaos Emeralds. But anyway, that weird face in the background, you'll see what that is in a minute when we get to the end, because that's something to do with the Zeti we're about to fight. In fact, we're going to fight him right now. This is Zazz. He is one of the Zeti, obviously. He's, how can I describe him? He's like the really aggressive, violent Zeti that's always itching for a fight. He's not too hard to take out in Act 2, because you fight the Zeti twice in each zone. You fight him once in Act 2 and once in Act 4. And I know the game refers to them as zones, but I refer to them as acts because, let's face it, Windy Hill itself is the zone in my mind. And this is, you know, Act That's 2.
You were lucky this time!
Zazz is really easy to bring down. Just hit the moon thing. Don't double jump, because whatever you do, because you'll then exit your ball form. And then you just home and attack him when he's running across the floor. He's really easy to take down. In fact, all the bosses in this game are. You shouldn't have any problems whatsoever fighting the bosses in this game. But yeah. There's a nice mix of 2D and 3D stages. I will say that 3D sections are slightly better than the 2D sections, which is quite surprising for a Sonic game really, but I felt that way about Sonic Generations as well, so, you know. Let's enter Act 3. And, yeah, no cutscene this time, we just go straight into the level. Okay. I suppose I ought to explain some of the gameplay. Obviously you can see that, you know, it's completely different. There's no boost feature anymore. In fact, you need to hold down the run button in order to get Sonic to run. Otherwise he moves at this really slow pace, and yeah. The only time that's useful is like maybe 2D sections. Like when you've got to do precise platforming, but other than that, it's really no reason why you wouldn't just want to run, you know? Sonic has 2 attacks. He can use the home and attack, obviously, and he can also do like this kick, which, well, there really isn't much need for me to show off at the moment. Here's the Laser Wisp, making a return from Sonic Colors. Same, you know, does the same thing that it did in that game as well, just shoots you ahead. The one thing I do like about this game is that the Wisps, you know, they're not compulsory to use. You don't have to use the Wisps in order to go through the level. They're completely and utterly optional, and I do appreciate that. I don't recall any point in, like, the game where you have to use the Wisps to get through. You can get through without them. Well, maybe there might be a couple of points, but I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. But yeah. There's the odd tubular level design like this, and, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna say right now, when you're using like Wisp powers like this, make sure that you don't do what I just did here. Use the Laser Wisp prematurely and go send you, you know, because it'll send you flying into that, and you will stop and you will fall to your death. What else can I talk about with this game? I've already spoke about like a few things. Yeah, there's like lots of different gimmicks with the levels, and you'll be seeing them the further I go through the game. You've got the tubular level designs like this, 2D sections, and there's other gimmicks as well, but you'll be, like I say, you'll be seeing them the further I progress through the game, so, you know. So just gotta wait for this thing to move out the way, and go. So now I've got to wait for this thing to turn around so I can do it properly, and yeah. The game tells you need to slide your finger across the gamepad. You don't have to do that. You can just press, like, I think it's the A button or the B button. I can't remember which one it is, but, you know, you don't need to use the touch controls, which I do appreciate. Some of the Wisps, you know, they give you the option of just using the basic controls. Unfortunately, some of the Wisps, you have to use the motion controls, like the Bomb Wisp, which you will not see at all in this playthrough. You can only get it via the Miiverse, or you can get it in the Knights level, which you only get if you pre-ordered the game. And yeah. You may notice that I'm not accessing any tutorials. There are tutorials, but you can only access them by looking on the gamepad, and I suppose that was their way of trying to incorporate the gamepad, like, oh my god, magic gimmicky device, let's use it. There are these bells scattered throughout the level, and You obviously got to stay on the move, be really quick, otherwise they will disappear. But if you keep running into the bell, it will eventually turn into a red ring, which you can collect. And as I've already stated before, collecting all the red rings in each zone enables you to unlock a Chaos Emerald. And yeah, kind of self-explanatory. I hate these boulders. I swear they follow you to where you are, which is rubbish. Anyway, let's drop down this hole and finish off at Act 3. I thought these things on the floor, these blue things on the floor, I thought they were spikes and that they would hurt me the first time I played this, but no, they don't. They actually release rings, so you want to run into them. Speaking of rings, you don't get a life when you collect 100 rings anymore, which is stupid. I don't know why they changed that. I swear, every Sonic game I've ever played had that as a rule. And you may have noticed there that there was actually an animal count on the last level of Windy Hill Zone. Oh, for goodness sake. Yes, you do have an animal quota to fulfill. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I mean, it just gives me flashbacks to Sonic Unleashed and collecting the Sun and Moon medals. That was bullshit. Thankfully, collecting the animals isn't as bullshit. I can kind of live with it because of these things. What I'm doing here is the Windy Circus. You control the trampoline with the gamepad, you know, the touch controls on the gamepad. And obviously you have to burst the balloons, and when you burst the balloons you release animals, and the animals will go towards your animal quota. If you drop Sonic so many times, like I just did, you only get 3 tries, so if you drop him 3 times, that's it, the level comes to an end. There's also a time limit as well. I do like the fact, I think if you get a game overs, like the circuses will appear, so you have loads of opportunities to collect animals. It's not as bullshit as the Sun and Moon medals in Sonic Unleashed, so I'm at least grateful for that. I can play through this game without needing to fulfill the, you know, backtrack to fulfill the quota. So, you know, it's fine.
Hey! I've been looking for you, Baldy McNosehair. Who are your friends?
Friends? These are nobody's friends. They are the Deadly Six, and they are your worst enemies. Zazz, show this blue pest how you do things up here.
With pleasure. I've been itching for a fight all day.
I think you're itching because you need a bath.
Are you disrespecting me?
Maybe.
I'm gonna mess you up!
I'd love to stay and watch him disassemble you, but I have business to attend to.
I know the perfect spot to take care of you.
That's funny, because I know the perfect spot to kick you.
So yeah, as I said before, Zazz is like the really aggressive Zetty, so always out for a fight, that guy. I especially love that line, "You disrespected me," or it sounds like something like a stereotypical Chav would say. Zazz is a Chav, who knew? He's one of them violent hoodlums, you know, one of those stereotypical guys. Zetty are rather stereotypical in personality, if you ask me. I don't hate them for it, by the way, I'm just stating it as a fact. And I do love how Sonic says, "I know the perfect spot to kick you." I mean, Sonic, does Zazz even have one of them? I'm presuming that Sonic's never been to the Lost Text before, so how can he know the perfect place, you know, in terms of like location? I mean, he has to be on about body part, you know, where to... or maybe it's just because I've got a dirty mind. But you can't necessarily prove that Zazz has got one of them. He's male, clearly, but... different species, Sonic. It could work completely differently for them. So anyway, we've got the 2D sections here, and what you see me do there was run up the wall. That is one of the other that's one of the other new things that the game has going for it, is the parkour system. So it's basically Sonic can run up walls. And all I'm going to say about that is it works great in 3D, but in 2D sometimes I find myself running up the wall when I don't want myself running up the wall. Which is why sometimes, you know, when it comes to doing precise jumps, you'd be better off not holding the run button down in 2D sections, because trust me, there are so many friggin' times when I've just found myself running up a wall and I did not want to run up the wall, you know. It can screw you over sometimes. It's that bad, but, you know. These bits with the logs always remind me of Jungle Zone from Zone 3 of the 8-bit version of Sonic 1. And I died. I will be editing most of the deaths out, so, you know, only when it seems appropriate to keep a death in to explain why things are the way it is, but yeah. Sometimes I swear Sonic's jump, you know, how do I explain it? Sometimes he doesn't move as far forward as I would like him to. Then again, it's not really an issue because it's kind of rectified with the double jump. So you can just use the double jump and that'll make everything okay. So yeah, I recommend killing these guys with the kick if you can, but I didn't there. I think it's better if you kill them with the kick. You'll see a lot of old bandits making a return in this game. It's kind of a nice nostalgic throwback. I haven't got any issue with it. I mean, Motorbug especially is friggin' everywhere. So this is Asteroid, like I said before. The gamepad, you know, the instructions tell you to tilt the gamepad, and that's what I was trying to do here, trying to get that to work, but fuck it, just use the direction pads. You'll save yourself so much time. I will say one thing about the Asteroid Whisper, it's not really used that much in this game. In fact, I can only recall seeing it in Windy Hill. But, it is used so much in the 3DS version of the game, it's ridiculous. And I've already said before, I think the 3DS version is shit. Levels that are far too long, and stupid, ridiculous puzzles that, quite frankly, I don't know why they thought they were good ideas, you know. This is so much better. So much better. So, towards the end of the level, we get to chase Zazz for a little bit, and then he will chase us. But we're Sonic, we can outrun him. Unless parkour gets annoying. See what I mean about parkour fucking you over if you're running at top speed? And yeah. You'd think I'd be worried about having no rings going into this fight, but no, I'm not, because, as I said before, the bosses in this game are ridiculously easy. See, he tosses this at you twice, and it bounces the first 2 times he tosses it at you. The third time he tosses it at you, it actually rolls along the floor. But it's really easy. Zazz is really easy. All the bosses are. You may notice the cursor when you're doing the homing attack sounds like it's getting stronger. That's because it is. You can actually charge up your homing attack, and it really hurts me. It takes down bosses so quick when you do it. Just do yourself a favour and, you know, use the charged homing attack wherever you can on the bosses. It makes mincemeat out of them.
Alright, we good to go or what, Tails?
I've built a TV out of paper clips.
Yeah.
And reprogrammed a supercomputer using dishwashing detergent and a toothpick.
I know.
So look, fixing a propeller on a biplane? That's about as difficult as taking a nap.
Okay, I didn't need your whole life story. A simple good to go would have been cool.
Alright. Good to go!
Cool!
Yeah, Sonic, Tails is a genius. Don't ever doubt him. Unfortunately, he does doubt him throughout this friggin' playthrough. Well, in the story, I should say. Anyway, we've unlocked the second zone in the game, Desert Ruins. Wasn't the second world in Mario, the new Super Mario Brothers, a desert level? I know it was in the Wii game, I know it was in the U game, so... You know, I still haven't explained this yet. Basically, you can get items over the Miiverse, if you choose to. Items like invincibility, extra rings, speed shoes, and the bomb wisp, which is shit and you shouldn't ever worry about using it. I still don't know what the hell it's supposed to do. If someone would clarify what the bomb, you know, what the purpose of the bomb wisp actually is, feel free to, because I really don't know. I'm assuming you can blow it up. I've only ever used it one time and I didn't really get a chance to see, you know, what it actually does. But yeah, you can get items via the Miiverse if you choose to, you know, let it happen and stuff. I suppose it's worthwhile, but you can only hold up to 5 items at a time, and if you choose to use them during the level, you kind of have to stop what you're doing to tap the suitcase at the bottom of the screen, you know, on the touch screen, and use the item that way, which can, you know, be a bit annoying. I tend to forget they're there because of it. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time.